Hi FlossTube, it's Becky coming back to you again, long lost Becky. Thank you so much, all of you who have encouraged me to make another FlossTube. I have not meant for this much time to go by, but that's what all FlossTubers seem to say when they fall into a little bit of filming funk. I've just been busy. Our internet's been incredibly slow. So I've kind of dreaded uploading anything, and I'm way out of practice, so I hope you'll bear with me. I don't have any notes. I typically don't use notes when I make a FlossTube, but I do have my planner with everything I've worked on the last time I was with you. By the way, my name is Becky, and this is a FlossTube about making things. Primarily it's about cross stitch now. There's a little bit of knitting, there's some quilting going on, there's some finishing, and I hope you will stop by, and I hope you will enjoy what's here. I've missed you guys. I've missed you a lot. I've stayed in touch with a lot of you on Facebook. Not Facebook, Instagram. And I've put a lot of pictures up there, and we've stayed in touch, but it hasn't been quite the same as doing a podcast. And here I am. So let's get going. I am not going to show you my mania. I would say I had a successful mania. I started 15 things. All very pretty things, all the things I showed you in my last podcast, but I will tell you, I don't think I'm a mania kind of person. It was fun while I was doing it, but it was like I hit a brick wall when it was all over. I looked around and I had all these things I had started, and that really stresses me out because I like to kind of stay on a routine. I already had too many whips going. I know I had 19 because that's what I reported in the School of Magical Stitches, and now I have 19 plus 15 more. No, actually I've finished a couple things, but I don't think it's for me. What it had me do immediately after that, I wanted to focus on something and get it done. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been trying to stitch 24 straight hours on something before I put it down, and I've gotten a couple finishes that I'm going to show you today. And it's made me think more carefully about the kind of things I want to finish, I want to do. I've kind of gone through my whole house and I've pictured what I want on the walls. I know for sure that I want a red sampler wall. I know for sure that I want a Patriotic wall. My friend Pat adds 2 new Patriotic things every year to her Patriotic wall, and I really like that idea. Thanks, Pat. I know that I want a basket of smalls on display, seasonal smalls. And I would like to have a white house wall. I'd like to have a whimsical wall with just fun kind of things. So it's kind of fine-tuned my thinking about the things I want to stitch. So that was a good thing that came out of mania. So today is an absolutely gorgeous day in Texas. When I woke up this morning, it was 67 degrees, and my lasses and I got out and we walked and we found things to be grateful about, and I will post those pictures. You will see pictures in the beginning of this, I think. I'm out of practice here. Okay, let's get going with what happened. I'm not going to go all the way through May, so rest assured, this is not going to be an hour video. I really hope to keep it under 30 minutes. But there was a Beth Twist conference, Heartstring Sampler, at our Tudor Rose Knitting Guild, and I know that Michelle Cozy Egg and Rachel, Stitch and Be Well, have already shared with you a little bit about that. So I don't really want to belabor it in case you've seen theirs. But I will show you the cute little Ort tin that we did. I think you saw my stitching, but we did a little bucket like this. And our pre-stitching was this. And we put it all together. On the bottom it says Spring Workshop 2019 Tudor Rose Guild. And Beth will be releasing this pattern in the future. She's used it for several workshops this year. And I think when she's done with those workshops, she usually releases it. We also did a strawberry that matches it. I did not get my homework done, and I still have not finished it. So today when I was pulling all this out, I realized I had not finished it, which made me think I need to get going on it. But it matches it. It's a little strawberry. I need to finish stitching it. And she gifted us with a stitch nanny, if I can get it off, these are so strong, that says Orts and Pins on it. That matches it and sticks on the side of our little Ort can. So that was cute. That was a lot of fun to do. Beth is a lot of fun. If you ever have an opportunity to go meet her, please do, because she's just a hoot. So that is what we did in the morning part of the workshop. In the afternoon, she gave us our sampler. And she has shared about this sampler on her podcast. And I just got a teeny tiny start on it. But basically, this is it. It's really neat, that bottom part. Not a lot of history is known about this. It will go in the museum where she lives. We're stitching it on Zweigart 40 count cream linen with a whole bunch of DMC. It's the Mary Pearson sampler, and it's from the collection of the Sandy Historical Society Museum. And she will be releasing this in a year, I think, after she gives us a good chance to stitch it. So that's something I need to get busy on. So we had a lot of fun with Beth. And throughout the rest of May, I just worked on some of my mania starts. I worked 3 days on each one of them and didn't really feel like I was getting anywhere. So when I went into June, I started focusing, doing my 24-hour focus, which really has helped a lot. So I forgot something, so hold on, I need to go get it. Okay, the first thing I finished was Anne Hadley's sampler, 1793. It's an Adam and Eve sampler. She was 12 years old when she did it. It's very primitive, very simple. I like it. I got too close to the bottom, so I added some linen down there at the bottom, and I may do a Barb and Alma thing and just go ahead and frame it that way, or try to get moved in real close there. I'm going to frame this one myself, or I was kind of thinking about maybe making it into a sampler roll, which that might be kind of fun too. Haven't quite decided. The other thing I finished, which you have seen tons of pictures on for a very long time on Instagram, is my Heritage Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. I don't have it because it's at the framers, so I'll be showing it to you just as soon as I get it. I'm going to put some pictures of it finished right here. Boy, that was really fun working on that. A friend of mine, Vanessa, hi Vanessa, and I worked on that together. She finished hers in about a month. It took me almost a year. There's a lot of detailed stitching on it. And Vanessa is not called Flame Fingers for no reason. She was a very fast knitter, and she's also a very fast stitcher. And I cannot be monogamous with things like she can. I'm really working on that. But that's kind of hard for someone who has ADD. So I hope to improve in that area. But I'm excited to have it done. I will love it and cherish it. It will be the first thing that goes on my Patriotic wall. And I look forward to sharing that with you. So those were my two finishes. And then I kind of thought through my things and thought, okay, what do you really want to do with the rest of the year? And I started working on my magic list, which we have in the Tudor Rose Guild. It's a list of our intentions of what we'd like to see done. And Heritage and Anne Hadley were on those. I don't think, let's see, Mother's Tree is on there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be finishing that. I'm giving that a good long think. It's something I started in the 80s or early 90s, and I've kind of lost the love for it. So we'll see what happens with that. So I moved on to my Stitch 9 pieces, and I thought the things I would really like to have done are my birthday starts. I had two. I had Hawk Run Hollow, and I had Sarah Redfern, and my Christmas start, or my Christmas gift, was the American Eagle Old Glory or something like that I got from my husband, and the Crowned Bird sampler, which I started at the first of the year with my Tudor Rose sisters. And Paulette is coming in October, so I really would like to get the Crowned Bird sampler finished. And then after that, I'll focus on those other two. I have been working on Hawk Run Hollow every morning for 30 minutes, and I'll show that to you in a little bit. But let me show you my Crowned Bird sampler. Here it is. I've shown it several times to you. Paulette did this for our guild in 2013, long before I was there. And I love it. So here is what I have. I'm very sad I cannot find my red anywhere. That red is, let's see, Gloriana Tulip, I think. I think it's Gloriana. I don't think it's Belsois. But this is all done in silks. This week in Magical School of Stitches, I'm in detention. Donna, I know you asked me why I'm in detention, and I can't remember. I'm going to have to look that up and let you know. It has something to do with the headmistress. I think we made her angry. we're reading finished the Goblet of Fire. We're reading the next one, Order of the Phoenix. And so for Order of the Phoenix, for detention, I had to stitch 1,000 stitches in black. And there's black in this. I've worked up there on that border. I've worked on the house and the windows. I've discovered that that window that's over the door is not centered, so I need to figure out what I have done wrong. Maybe doing some frogging. But I love this sampler. I love all the red. And it will be going on my red house wall. It'll be the second red house I have on that wall. So I'm really hoping that I can find my silks. My red silk. Because I might have to order some. But I'm at 560 something stitches on the black, so I have all the way till Sunday night, and so there's a lot of black in this, so I'll be fine with that homework assignment. Oh, and I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I made this scissor fob with the Tudor Rose on it. It says Tudor Rose Sampler Guild on the back and the year I made it. And I like this, the length of this, because I can hang it over my stand like that, and it's weighted enough so that it'll stay. Or I can lay it across my armchair and it stays weighted. So I love this thing. Okay, so that is the crown bird. I successfully did 24 hours on her. And this is how I mark it off on my calendar. You see all those checks? That's how I keep track of it. Each block is for 15 minutes. Okay, so we moved into July, and I had a lot of 24-hour intentions down the side here, which I kind of stopped this week. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So the other thing that I've been working on every day, I get up, first thing in the morning, I do this. And I really enjoy that time to relax and quiet my mind before I start my day. I spend some time in prayer, which is good, and listening to good music. So this is my Hawk Run Hollow, the village of Hawk Run Hollow. I've been working a whole month on this almost. I did go outside of 30 minutes. That yellow on the sign was a Magical Stitches homework. 500 stitches of yellow for a color that's in the Phoenix. I could do yellow, orange, or red, I think. And that sign is yellow. It's in silk. But my goodness, there have been a lot of hours that have gone into this, and I only have 10 days left to finish it, and I'm not sure I'm going to. So I might be doing some nighttime stitching too. I don't know how people have gotten one block a month done. If I try to stay on task with this, I will have half of it done by my birthday, which would be good. 2-year goal, right? I don't know. It's a lot of stitching. Sometimes I think, maybe that's why I'm doing it in the morning, because I'm kind of not really awake yet. Because a lot of times when I'm awake, like at night when I'm working on this, I think, you're putting an awful lot of time in this. Are you sure you want to be dedicating that much time to this? But in the morning, I don't think about that. So it's a good thing I work on her in the morning. Anyways, that was my second Magical School of Stitches assignment this week. Now, what else has happened? I got my Country Stitchers Schoolgirls first piece designed by Teresa Vanette, Kitten Stitcher. I'll show you that. I haven't had a lot of time to work on her. And I started a Sal with Cynthia Brew and Kim Goldman on Instagram. Cynthia is a Texan, and Kim, I'm not even sure, I don't even think I know where you live, but Kim and I have a lot of things in common that we like, and so do Cynthia and I. So when Cynthia showed this pattern that I had, I said, I want to do that too. So we formed the Blackbird Birds Sal. And you can join us if you want to. Any bird in Blackbird Designs if you want to come join us. But this is out of print now. And if you have it, you may want to join us. This is the original. And it has double meaning for me because when I opened it up and started reading about it, the back says the original sampler found in an antique shop in Texas. And as I read inside, they found this in Athens, Texas, which is where I live. So I thought, well, that's cool. Of course I need to stitch this. So I am using, it's charted for silks and it's charted for DMC. And I'm using DMC. And I've showed you guys these colors on Instagram and everybody's always, wow, those are so pretty. They really are. Good old DMC, huh? And here is what I have so far. I started at the top. I have one border all the way down the side and I haven't done the other one. But I started at the top in the left-hand corner, and both Kim and Cynthia started in the bottom. So we'll be meeting up in the middle here. I'm ready to put a little red bird on it. But this is really pretty, and I really like the colors. They're really charming, and this is such an unusual sampler. But I like it. And I'm going to have quite a bit left over at the bottom, which is really good because this is one of my favorites. It is R&R Reproductions Old Town Blend. I'm stitching it on 32 count, which is really big for me. I like to stitch smaller, but it's a small sampler, so I thought that I maybe need to do it on 32. And it's going a lot faster. Hey, I didn't know that if you stitch on bigger count, things go faster. So, and I've got it in the bag that I made for it. I looked far and wide to find something that had feathers on it, since the bird's of a feather. And this is what I found. And I found these little feather charms, which are real sweet. So come join us. It's a lot of fun. And I'm saying and a lot. Hey, you know what Kitchen Stitcher Teresa said? She said, now, let's just think about this. Let's don't beat ourselves up for it, because who on earth talks for 30 minutes to an hour straight without any interaction with anybody? That's hard to do. Something you don't really notice until you do a FlossTube. And then you see that you're saying a lot. Okay, well, July came and I wanted to do all Patriotic. So when I was not working on the crown bird or my homework assignment, I fit my homework assignments into some Patriotic stuff. So, oh dear, I don't have the book. So I'm gonna have to go get it. Hold on a minute. I found the book. I'm stitching from Sweet Land of Liberty. And truly, I want to make everything in this book. I want it all on my Patriotic wall. Oh, that's Kinsey. I'm not gonna stop this. I'm just gonna get up to get her. Come here, little Missy. I don't know why she's telling me. Normally she can do that all by herself. Sweet Land of Liberty. The first thing I've been working on in it is this cute little pin cushion that's called In Full Glory. And I had the idea that if you see on this, sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a glare, this pin right here, I actually want to put some of my father-in-law's, and here's some pins right there, some of his insignia. He was a colonel in the Air Force, and I just thought I'd make it a little memorial pillow for him. So I've got this in one of my bags, which I still do have some of this fabric, and I'll be sewing up some more of them. The next bag I'm going to show you, I ran out. So this bag has star print on the inside, and it has a eagle hanging right here. But I really love this print. In fact, I'm probably going to put it on the back of that pillow. So I am using the called for colors, except I did change out the red because they wanted to use used brick, and it was too dull for my liking. So here's what I have. It'll be finished soon, I think. Probably this week or this weekend. So the next time I'll be able to show that to you. And that will be my memorial to my father-in-law. So I'm going to put this away so I don't have a huge mess. I'm glad you guys can't see my floor. This is my sewing room. I'm finishing up. I've got one more order to go. Then I'm working on a couple special orders. One's a barter, and then one's just for a friend. And then I'm going to sew up bags for our Tudor Rose, where you bring stuff to sell, you know, patterns and that kind of stuff. I'm going to sew up all my leftover things that I had. I want to clear out my shelves so that I can get my fall fabric in and my Christmas fabric and some new stuff. And then I probably will reopen the shop maybe the second week in August. I don't know. We'll see. So the next thing I wasn't going to start, but I went ahead and bought the DMC colors for this. Salute to Abigail, because I saw, I think it was you, Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, that had finished it, and that made me want to do it. So I started it on some linen that I have now dyed 3 times. And after I got going on it, I decided I don't like this color linen with this. So that's going to be, this linen's probably going to be tossed because I just am giving up on it. But I might cut that out and make it a bookmark maybe or something. I don't know. It's a big mistake. And this color reminds me of it, so I don't know. So I started it on another color. I did buy this stitch marker to go with it. Is it focusing? I don't think I have this set up right. We'll find out. Hubby and I have been running around town and I'm a bit of a mess. So these are the colors. I don't know why I've got this thing that I want to prove that DMCs are pretty. Because I have a lot of silk now and I have a lot of over dyes, and lately everything I've been wanting to work on, I thought I'm gonna do this at DMC because these are pretty colors. See? These colors are so pretty. And I like it much, 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 much better. This is Mystery Linen. I started this yesterday. This is Mystery Linen. I thought it was 36 count, but I'm thinking it might be uneven. It might be 35 count. The stitches don't look perfectly square to me. But I just love this. I love these colors. The white is not going to show up very much, as I see in here. I don't even see it when I look on the screen here. But that's okay. I don't think I'm going to change that color because red, white, and blue. That color in DMC is 3865. I don't know, maybe I need to do a whiter. I was thinking that was a pretty white color. I might have to do some comparing. So far, I've only have one berry. So if I have to rip out one berry, that's okay. So that is Salute to Abigail. And I just love Abigail Adams. I love the wonderful marriage that she and John Adams had. If you haven't read, David McCullough, I think, wrote it. The book called John Adams. Give it a read. But I know there's another one out there which I didn't like, so I'll have to double check on that one for sure. But they corresponded so much with each other, and they were just a big encouragement to each other, I could tell. So that is Salute to Abigail Adams. Oh, and I should have showed you the bag. This bag I also like, but what I like most about it is this red eagle print on the inside, which unfortunately you can't get anymore. I really wish I had stocked up on that. I can't find it anywhere now. So sadly, I won't be making any more of these. I'll have to use a different liner if I do. But maybe next year they'll put some out that they had hidden in the back. Hey, Brownie. Must be getting close to dinner time. Brownie comes and finds me when she's ready to eat. So that, I'm just gonna stitch on these until the end of next week, I guess, when July ends. And then I might pull them out on Saturdays and do patriotic stitching on Saturday. Maybe, I don't know. So, but I'm working on that patriotic wall. Let me see what else. I don't think I have hardly anything else to show you. I showed you the big things I've been working on. Village of Hawkrun Hollow, Crowned Bird, and these two patriotic things. Next up, let me show you the ABC Schoolgirl Club. Here's this pretty bag that my friend Pat sent me, this fabric, which I really like a lot. I made one for her and I made one for me. So Teresa did this sampler for us, and you've seen it on her podcast. You've seen Ellen Chester, Needlework Ellen, has finished it. Some other people pretty close. And here it is. This is Maria Finney, 1832. Adam and Eve's house. My battery's blinking, so I really need to hurry. So I'm not even going to show you what I have done on that. Not a whole lot. And the other things I'll show you real quick that I'm looking forward to, my stash, because when Patriotic stuff is over, I'm moving into fall, is this Bitter Flower by Birds of a Feather that says, "The bee sucks honey out of the bitterest flower." And also this pumpkin, white pumpkin farm. I've got some floss for it in there. And then this, Fiona and Edward. This is Carol Saltbuck Stitch's fault. The Red Horse, Fiona and Edward. I've got all the silks right there. So that's my whimsical stitching this year. The horse and the bitter flower. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you for listening to me blather on. Remember to look for joy in every day. I try to find 3 things every day to be thankful for. And that sets my day up for being joyful. We have so many things to be thankful for. So thank you guys. I hopefully will see you soon. Bye.